Bhagavatam class. So today we'll be actually Patitarana Prabhu instructed me to give this particular Shilu discussion in view of his having some other work. Okay, so we can begin. So before we begin, we start with Mangala Charana. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikas Swami Thinamine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Dharine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Narayanam Namaskritya Narang Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswating Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. Shrinvatham Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanaha Hridayantosto Hyad Padrani Vidhnoti Suhut Satam Nashtaprayesu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavada Sevaya Bhagavade Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. So let's see. So Prabhu is supposed to be 1944, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
1944. All right. So let me share my screen first. Okay. Okay, Prabhu. So can you see my screen, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. Can.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So Srimad Bhagavatam, we are on Canto 1. Canto 1. So chapter number 9, right? So this chapter number 9 is regarding the passing away of Bhishma Deva in the presence of Lord Krishna. So this is the title of the chapter 9, right? And we are on Shloka 44. Text number 44. Okay, let's see. Sampatyamanam Ajnaya. So maybe the audience can repeat on each line. Sampatyamanam Ajnaya.
Sampatyamanam Ajnaya.
Bhishmang Brahmani Nishkale.
Bhishmam Brahmani Nishkale.
Sarva Babu Uste Tushnim.
Sarva Babu Uste Tushnim.
Vayang Shiva Dinatyaye.
Ayam Shiva Dinatyaye.
Sampatyamanam Ajnaya.
Sampatyamanam Ajnaya.
Bhishmang Brahmani Nishkale.
Bhishmam Brahmani Nishkale.
Sarva Babu Uste Tushnim.
Sarve Babu Uste Tushnim.
Vayang Shiva Dinatyaye.
Ayam Shiva Dinatyaye.
Sampatyamanam Ajnaya.
Sampatyamanam Ajnaya.
Bhishmang Brahmani Nishkale.
Bhishmam Brahmani Nishkale.
Sarve Babhuvuste Tushning.
Sarve Bhavuste Tushnim
Vayang Siva Dinatyaye.
Vayam Shiva Dinatyaye.
Anyone who would like to try? Prabhus and Matajis? Maybe? Arasi Mataji, Nanda Devi Mataji? You can try. Would like to repeat the shloka?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, please Mataji.
Sampatyamanam ajnaya Bhishmang Brahmani Niskale Sarva Babu Vushte Tushning Vayam Shiva Dinatyaye.
It's very nice, Mataji. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you.
Hare Krishna. Anyone else like to try? Okay. So let's see the word to word meaning. Sampatyamanam. Right. So Sampatyamanam. So Patya means merged. So Sampatyamanam. Coming together and merge. This is the meaning of this word. Sampatyamanam. So Prabhupada is giving the meaning. Having merged into. Ajnaya. So after knowing this, Bhishmam. Bhishma means we are referring to about Sri Bhishma Deva. Brahmani. So Brahmani means into the supreme absolute. Excuse me. So yeah, Brahmani means into the supreme absolute. Nishkale, unlimited. Sarve, all present. Babhuvute, all of them became. Tushnim. Tushnim means silent. Vayangsi iva. Vayangsi iva. Like. Iva means like. Birds. So Vayangsi means birds in Sanskrit. Dinatyaye. Dinatyaye. Dina means what? Dina means day. Dinam. Tamil சொல்றோம்ல தினம் day, right? So பிறந்த நாள் தினம், இந்த தினம்லாம் இருக்கு பாருங்க. So this is called day. So here atyaye. Atya means end, right? So just like antyayasti. So what is antyayasti? That's samskara. Antyayasti samskara means what samskara is that? At the end of your life, our funeral, right? Antya means end. Antyayasti samskara sevam. So it is called the samskara which is done when someone have passed away. Funeral, right? So it is called at the end of life, antya. So atyaya means at the end of the day. So dinatyaya, right? So translation, knowing that Bhishma Deva had merged into the unlimited eternity of Supreme Absolute. All present there become silent like birds at the end of the day. So this is a translation here. So what does this mean? What does it mean? So what's happening here? So we need to look into the previous shloka. Okay, if you look into the previous shloka where Patitha Prabhu have discussed previously, right, last week. So here Sutta Goswami is speaking, right? So Sutta Goswami is speaking, thus Bhishma Dev merged. Again the word merged is coming here, sampatya, right? So merged is coming, merged himself into the super soul Lord Sri Krishna, the supreme personality of Godhead. It is mind, speech, sight and action, and thus he becomes silent. And his breathing stopped. So what's happening? Basically, Bhishma Dev is leaving the body in front of Krishna, right? So that's what happening, right? And then immediately the next shloka, what we can see here? So people are observing. So knowing this, Bhishma Dev had emerged into the unlimited eternity of the Supreme Absolute. All present, they become silent, pin drop silent. Here, Srimad Bhagavatam is giving an example what? Vayang Shiva Dinatyaye. Like the birds at the end of the day. Okay. So, commentary by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada. So, let's see the commentary purport. to enter into or to become merged into the unlimited eternity of the Supreme Absolute means to enter into the original home of the living being. So, you see, immediately Srila Prabhupada is explaining to us what is the meaning of merged. So, what is the meaning of merged? Can anyone tell? What is the meaning of merged? What we understand literally, merged na enna artham? What is the meaning here? So, you might think that Bhishma Dev is merging with Krishna, isn't it? But no, that is not the meaning. Right? That is not the meaning. You cannot merge into Krishna. Right? You cannot merge into Krishna. Right? So, therefore, immediately Srila Prabhupada is giving the explanation. What is the explanation? He is immediately giving us the meaning of what is the meaning of merged. So please be very clear. Be merged means the meaning here is to enter the original home of living being. So the living beings are all component parts and parcel of the absolute personality of Godhead. Right? And therefore, they are eternally related with him as a servitor and the served. So, dear Prabhus and Matajis, you see, this is very important. If you see in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavaneti Shabdyate. So, the meaning here, the absolute truth can be understood in three ways. Okay, what is the three ways? Okay, please remember this. Right? Brahmeti. So, what is Brahmeti? Can be understood in Brahman. And then the higher understanding than Brahman is Paramatma. And the higher understanding between, among the Brahman and Paramatma is Bhagavan understanding. Right? So this is what Srimad Bhagavatam says. Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavaneti Shabdyate. Right? So Brahman understanding means what? What is the meaning of Brahman understanding? Can anyone like to try? What is the meaning of Brahman understanding? Any idea so far? Brahman. So you see, in Sanskrit is a very versatile language, very versatile. So Brahman can mean Brahma Jyoti. Brahman can mean Brahma Jyoti. It also can mean Atma. It also can mean mind. It also can mean Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. It also can mean Brahmana. So you see, one word of five meaning. So this is Samskrita, right? So that's why you see, even in our shloka, you see here, Sampatyamanam Ajnaya Bhishmam Brahmani. Brahmani. What is the meaning of Brahmani here? Into the Supreme Absolute. Right? So it's one meaning. Right? So in this context that we are discussing, the understanding of absolute truth, the very basic understanding is Brahman. Here means Brahma Jyoti, where we understand the absolute truth is light, Jyoti, effulgent. So this is the very basic understanding, very neophyte understanding, incomplete understanding. This is the first, Brahma Jyoti. Is that clear? So if you see, generally most of the people, they think God as formless, isn't it? They think God is formless. God is just an energy. God is just a light. God is just a, Shakti. So this is absolutely wrong. Wrong understanding. God is not light. Because logically, if you see, when there is light, there must be the source of light. Amanglalya. Example, there's a sunlight. So when we say sunlight, that means there is origin of this sunlight, which is a sun. So therefore, when you say Jyoti, there's the origin of this Jyoti, isn't it? So now we need to look into the origin of the Jyoti. What is the origin of this Brahma Jyoti? That we need to look into Shastra. So it's not logic. It is illogical to say God is formless, God is light. No, people are doing that. People are doing that out of ignorance. People are doing that. When you go to the Devata temples, you go to any temples, we can see what they are doing there. They are doing there is like example we said. We go to Amman temple, so Amma will be there, Mariamman will be there, and suddenly on the besides there will be Murugan, Vinayagar, Perumal will be there, Navagraha will be there, isn't it? So everyone is there. But you know, when we go there, and finally, when we sing the Devaram in the temple, you know, usually they will sing. What they will sing? Jodis, Jodi, 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 Soyam, Jodi, 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 Param. You know, these things they will sing, you know. They say Jodi, Jodi, Jodi is the highest. Everything is Jodi. And finally they'll say, everything is Jodi. I am Jodi, you are Jodi, Shiva is Jodi, Amma is Jodi, Vishnu is Jodi, and you are Vishnu. Makes sense or not? So you're immediately claiming that Amman and you are same. Vishnu and Amman are same. Everything is same. No different. You are God. You are Jyoti also. So this is basically very wrong understanding. You cannot be God. First of all, a very basic principle is you cannot become God. Our swarupa, our nature is always a servant of God. We are always individual. This is the very basic understanding of Bhagavad Gita. We are individual. Right? Part and parcel. You see, Prabhupada always use the word part and parcel. Part and parcel means what? That means Krishna is speaking in Bhagavad Gita. What is the shloka? Mama evam so jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatanaha. Krishna says this. Mama eva amsa jiva loke. All these living entities, jivatmas, the conditioned soul, mama eva amsa, என்னோடைய அம்சங்கள். இந்த ஆத்மாங்களாம் யாருடைய அம்சங்கள்? Krishna is telling all these jivatmas are my amsa, my part and parcel amsam. So you always remain amsa, part and parcel. You cannot become God. You cannot merge and become one as God. That is first understanding you must have. You cannot become, you can never become God. You're always servant of God. You're always subordinate to God. Right? And number two, God is not Jyoti. Not everything is same. There's some discrimination. Everything is the energy of God, but there's a discrimination between them. Right? So this must be understood very clearly. This is a very fundamental understanding, tattva. Right? So we are against this. We are against this wrong understanding. Right? That is why the moment we begin our discussion, what we are chanting? Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vedahanta Swami Tinamini Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini. Gauravani Pracharini. Right? Srila Prabhupada is preaching. Pracharini is preaching. He is preaching about what? This ultimate message of Gaura, Lord Chaitanya's message. So what is this message? Nirvishesha Shunyavadi. So by giving this fact, truth, Gauravani's message of Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Prabhupada is smashing, kicking away what? Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarini. So what is this Nirvishesha? Vishesham, auspicious. Nirvishesha means inauspicious. All these inauspicious, Mayavadam. Nirvishesha Shunyavadam. Shunya means Sunyam. Buddhist philosophy, everything is nothing. Your ultimate goal is to become nothing. Right? They will say, sit down, meditate, become nothing, think of nothing. Nonsense. You can never think of nothing. Your mind is always engaged. So Prabhupada is smashing this philosophy. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving the fact. Right? So Nirvishesha Shunyavadi. Nirvishesha means Mayavadam. That I and you are same. We are God. We can merge into God. Everything is Jyoti. So Srila Prabhupada, our Acharyas, They are smashing this understanding. So this is wrong understanding. That is why every day we are reciting Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashtatya Desha Tarini. Another problem with us is what? Western influence, westernization. We are following the Western ideology, Western so-called science. So Prabhupada is smashing all this nonsense. So therefore he is delivering this message, Gauravani, to the Western world. Because we are following Western, right? Now everything is westernized. Right? Whatever the Westerns do, we must ape. Whatever the Westerns follow, eat, we must eat, isn't it? So therefore, Prabhupada is going to Western country and he is establishing Shastra, establishing Krishna. So therefore we are reciting Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashtatya Desha Tarini. This is our principle. Right? So this is very important understanding. So Brahma Jyoti. So logically, pathingana, when there is Jyoti, there must be a source of Jyoti. What is the puncha? What is the source? Then if you look into Shastra. So Shastra says, Bhagavan is the source of this Jyoti. Just like the light is coming from the sun. Right? When you say light, it is coming from the bulb. Therefore, this Brahma Jyoti is the effulgence from Bhagavan's body. So when Krishna's body is so effulgent. Right? So therefore, this Jyoti is this effulgence coming out from the Krishna's transcendental body is called Brahma Jyoti. So that is why sometimes the neophyte, jnanis and yogis, they cannot reach Krishna because they go stuck in this Brahma Jyoti. They think that everything is Jyoti, Jyoti, Jyoti Param, Jyoti, Jyoti, Jyoti Suyam. That's not the case. Right? So it is murder. Prabhupada used this suicide. What is that? When you try to merge into this Brahma Jyoti, it is called spiritual suicide. Amazing, right? What is the meaning spiritual suicide? Abdina means by practicing spiritual, by reading the Shastra, you even can commit suicide. You know? So that's what these people are doing. By following Shastra in an incomplete way, they try to merge into Brahma Jyoti and they're committing suicide. Why suicide? Because, can you imagine? Can you imagine right now, you are trying to become the light. Can you see the light? Can you imagine if you become light, merge into light? What is the situation? You're just like stuck, frozen. You know, you cannot do anything. You become inactive, inert. So this is hell, as good as hell. So our acharyas are telling to merge with this Brahma Jyoti is hellish condition. Right? So this is hellish, more worse than hell. Right? So, and that's why Srila Prabhupada says it is spiritual suicide. In a suicide, spiritual suicide. அப்படின்னா நம்ம வேதம் படிச்சு கூட suicide பண்ணிக்கலாம் அந்த மாதிரி ஜோதியில போய் உழுவுறது. You go to fall in the trap of Mayavadam. So Srila Prabhupada said, Mayavadam is the last snare of Maya. This impersonalism is the last snare of Maya. That means you can overcome everything. You may study all the Shastra, Vedas. But then that's where you go stuck, is this Mayavadam, impersonalism. Mayavadam means impersonalism. That means the philosophy, the deviated philosophy, which they said, God has no form. Everything is light. Bogus. Because logically we see, whenever there is light, there must be the source of light. So God is a person. God has a form. So this is very fundamental. That's why I'm speaking about this. I really need to establish this. This is very, very, very important. Because 90% of our society, our people, they think God has no form, isn't it? God is just some energy, some power. We cannot see God. You know, by meditating, we become God. Nonsense. Right? So this must be understood. You cannot become God. Right? So, therefore, now you must understand the next level, Paramatma. So that means God is all pervading. He's everywhere. Krishna can be also be everywhere in the form of Paramatma, in every atoms. Krishna is everywhere. But although he is everywhere, he is still outside of everything. We see in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9. Krishna is outside of everything, he is also inside of everything. This is achintya, inconceivable. Right? So Krishna is everything, but not everything. So this is our philosophy, achintya, inconceivable. Right? So Paramatma means Krishna is within us, within the atoms, within everything. So this is the second step. Brahman, Paramatma. Then the ultimate step is what? Bhagavan understanding. That the ultimate source of Brahman and Paramatma is what? Bhagavan. And Parasara Muni is giving the definition of Bhagavan. What is the meaning of Bhagavan? Can anyone tell me what is the meaning of Bhagavan? பகவான் சொல்கிறோம். இப்போ நிறைய பேர் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா பகவான் சொல்லி வராங்க, பகவான் பேர் போட்டுக்கிறாங்க பின்னாடி. ஸோ பகவான்னா உண்மையில என்ன? வாட் இஸ் த தேர் டெஃபினேஷன் ஆஃப் பகவான்? ஸோ பரசர முனி இஸ் கிவிங் டெஃபினேஷன், சாப்டர் 2 பகவத் கீதா. ஸோ the purport of Prabhupada. So we can see that the meaning of Bhagavan means who possesses the 6 opulence. Bhagavan, who possesses the opulence. Aishwarya. What Aishwaryam? What opulence? Bhagavan means he must be all famous. He must be famous. All fame, all wealthy. He must be the most wealthiest person. All strength. He must be the most strongest person. All famous, all wealthy, all strength, all beauty, right? All knowledge. He must have all knowledge. Unlimited knowledge he must have. See? So he must be the most famous person. He must be the most strongest person. He must be the most wealthiest person. He must be the most knowledgeable person. He must be the most beautiful person. 5 things are there. Even though he occupy all these things, he is not dependent on them. புரியுதுங்களா? Even though he is the most beautiful, most famous, most strongest, most knowledgeable, he is not dependent on all these opulence. He is renounced. So there's another 6th one, renunciation. Just like us, when we have some money, some power, we become different. But we don't have money, then we cannot live. We don't have fame, we cannot live. But Krishna, he is not dependent on all these opulence. In fact, so opulence are depending on him. So this is Bhagavan. Bhagavan means who possesses these 6 opulence. Right? So all strong, all strengthful, all wealth, all knowledgeable, all fame, all beautiful, and possess all these 5, and he still renounced. He's not attached to these things. So this is the meaning of Bhagavan. Right? So when you're speaking about beauty, that means he must have a form, isn't it? So when people are telling God has no form, the moment you go to such a temple where they are telling Amman is formless, can you imagine that? They are telling Durga Devi, later we'll see what is the position of Durga Devi. She is such a great servant of Krishna. And we are humiliating Durga Devi. We are offending Durga Devi by telling her formless Jodi. So that is why the Vaishnavas, they don't go to such places where Krishna is offended, where the devotees of Krishna are offended, where the demigods are offended. We don't go. This is the reason actually. Because we accept them as a servant. The demigods are servant of Krishna. We accept them, respect them. That is one of the offenses of chanting the holy name. We must not disrespect the whole demigods, Vaishnavas. But you must understand their position. Right? Same time, when you go to such places, they are claiming everything is same, everything is Jodi. You are Kadavul, na Kadavul. So if you go there and stand, you are committing aparadha, offense. See? So think about it. So that's why we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, to learn this knowledge, how to discriminate things. Right? So now we know why this impersonalism is very dangerous. So that's why Srila Prabhupada says, you should kick in the face. You should kick in the face of the impersonalists with boots, spiked boots. Srila Prabhupada says this. Because why? They're offending the Lord. They're offending the Lord. So therefore we become furious. So this is the meaning. So therefore here, you see, that is why immediately when the shloka is translated here as to merge into the unlimited eternity of Supreme Absolute, Prabhupada is giving an immediate clearance. What is the meaning? The actual meaning of unlimited merged into this unlimited eternity of Supreme Absolute means what? To enter into the original home of the living being. So what is the original home? The spiritual world, the spiritual sky, Vaikuntha Loka. Right? So this is our original home. So when we enter into Vaikuntha Loka, we remain individual. We remain individual. We remain a servant of Krishna and Krishna remain master. This is the understanding. Not that you become Krishna. You become equal to Krishna. No. Or you can merge into Krishna. No. Right. So that is why you see, Prabhupada is clearly telling you that we are always part and parcel. So, Mama Eva Amsa, we are always Amsa. Right? So, the Lord is served by his parts and parcel as a complete mission is served by its part and parcels. So, any parts of machine removed from the whole is no longer important. Similarly, any part and parcel of absolute detached from the service of the Lord is useless. The living beings who are in the material world are all disintegrated part and parcel of the supreme whole, and they are no longer as important as the original part and parcel. What's the meaning here? Srila Prabhupada is giving the example when we are not hearing about Krishna, learning about Krishna, like how we can see, we have devotees here listening to Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the meaning you're connected to Krishna. But there are also people who are not connected to Krishna, right? So Srila Prabhupada is giving an analogy, just like the screw, right? You see, I have a mobile phone. You can see a screw here, which is holding the case, right? So let's say now the screw is intact with the casing, so it have a purpose, which is holding the case, isn't it? But when the screw fall down, what happened? The screw is useless, got no function, right? But when screw is intact in this casing, it is serving the function to hold the phone. Yes. So Srila Prabhupada is giving that analogy that we become useless when we are not in touch, connected to Krishna. We become useless, as good as animals. But when we in touch, connected to Krishna, then we are becoming functional. In fact, that is our natural tendency to serve Krishna, to love Bhagavan. Right? That is the meaning here. Right? So, they are, however, more integrated living beings who are eternally liberated. Yes. So, that is why when someone is engaging in the service of Krishna, they can become liberated. Right? So, we are all practicing Krishna consciousness, practicing devotee. What is our aim? To become fully Krishna consciousness. So when we become fully Krishna consciousness, we become liberated. So liberation means the change of consciousness. This is a definition. Liberation means not that you die, then you enter into the light. No. You don't need to die to become liberated. You see, the philosophy is very amazing that Srila Prabhupada, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu giving us. You can become liberated, you can attain moksha even with this body. Simply by practicing Krishna consciousness, change your consciousness. Like Bhishma Dev, you can see how Bhishma Dev is leaving the body. So he is leaving the body, he's already liberated. And he's simply changing the body and go back to Krishna. So this is the meaning of liberated, moksha, right? So liberation means a change of consciousness. Understanding Krishna as Bhagavan, not light, not some formless being, not some energy only. So this is liberation. And you see, Prabhupada is explaining the material energy of the Lord called Durga Shakti, or the superintendent of the prison house, takes charge of the disintegrated part and parcels, and thus they undergo a conditioned life under the law of material nature. Right? So Mama Eva, so Mama Maya Duradhyaya, Krishna says, Mama Maya Duradhyaya, Bhagavad Gita. Abdina na solrare, my Maya, this Maya is my energy. Maya means what? The material energy, Durga Shakti. Yaroda energy, Bhagavan energy, Krishna solrare. So this energy is very difficult to overcome. Very difficult to overcome, Krishna says. And then the next line, Krishna says, but the moment you surrender unto me, it becomes very easy, simple. So, for those people who are not surrendering unto Krishna, surrendering means what? To follow the instruction. That's surrendering. So surrendering means not simply, just say, I love Krishna, I like Krishna, putting profile picture, all Krishna, but you never follow even any instruction. So that is bogus. So surrender means, remember this, the definition of surrender. Surrender means to follow instruction. Then that is called surrender. So when we surrender unto Krishna, it becomes very easy to cross this material nature. So for those Atma, for those living entity who are not surrendered unto Krishna, they are entangled in Durga Shakti. They become conditioned. Right? What is the meaning of conditioned? Prabhupada always use this word conditioned. Condition means we are being controlled by the material energy, Durga Shakti. Right? We are being controlled in every way. Huh? So this is the law of material nature. And you are thinking, I am independent, Prabhu. I am independent. No one can control me. My life, my rules. We have seen these quotes, people put my WhatsApp, my life, my rules. What your life, your rules? You cannot even control your bowel movement. And the moment you have to urinate, you have to go, bladder have to go, bowel have to go, toilet, right? The moment you're hungry, you have to put in something. The moment the light is switched off, darkness you cannot see. The moment you itchy, you have to scratch. Right? The moment you got COVID, you cannot go out. PKP. Every way you are controlled and you're telling my life, my rules. Bogus. Your life, you have some independence. But you must understand, this material nature, you are controlled in every way. Therefore, it's called conditioned life. This is the definition of conditioned life. Conditioned life, you are controlled in every way. Right? So that is what Prabhupada says, we are all conditioned when we never surrender unto Krishna. But when we surrender unto Krishna and we take the association of Haladini Shakti, the internal potency of Krishna, then you can easily overcome this external energy, material energy. Easily can overcome. Mama Maya, Drudyaya. Krishna says very difficult, but when you surrender, then it becomes easy. So this is the understanding. You must understand first, this material nature is very, very dangerous. Right? Very, very dangerous. Krishna Bhagavatam says in every step is danger. Every step is danger. So full of Janma Mrityur Jara Vyadi. The moment we are here, we are suffering. Birth, death, old age, disease. Right? So therefore, Prabhupada says we should take shelter of Bhagavan. So Durga means what? Durga means, literally Durga means fort. Fort, F-O-R-T, fort. Like a prison house. So basically this material universe is a prison house. For the people who are rebellious against Bhagavan, people who want to enjoy, people who think that they are the supreme enjoyer, they should come here and suffer. Once you realize, you should come back. You can go back. So this is why it's called Durga. And the in charge for this Durga, this fort is Durga Devi. The superintendent. She is the superintendent for the prison house. Just like Katwa police. Katwa police. Right? So this is the understanding. So when the living being becomes conscious of this fact, he tries to go back to Godhead and does the spiritual urge of the living beings. The spiritual urge is called Brahma Jijnasa, or inquiry about Brahman. Principally, this Brahma Jijnasa is successfully by knowledge, renunciation and devotional service to Lord. Very important. So, how to go back to Krishna? How to understand his philosophy? First, you must have inquisitiveness. So, that's why it's called Brahma Jijnasa. Jijnasa means to inquire, to inquire about Brahman, Krishna. Brahman means Krishna, God. So when you inquire who is God, why I am suffering, why I am dying, why there's disease, why many people are suffering, why some are rich, some are poor. When you're thinking about all these things, then you might get the answer if you approach the authorized source. So when you come to Shastra, then you can find the answer. Right? So this is the meaning of Brahma Jijnasa. So Krishna is not a dictator. Bhagavan is not a dictator. He doesn't force anyone. Even in Bhagavad Gita we can see. Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita. At the end of chapter 18, Krishna says, Arjuna, நான் சொல்றதெல்லாம் சொல்லிட்டேன்பா நீ யோசிச்சுக்கோ என்ன செய்யணும்னு. Krishna says that. Krishna says, I have explained to you everything. What is the best for you? Which you surrender unto me. Krishna says, Sarvadharman Parijajya. Krishna says that. After that, Krishna says, I have explained to you. Now you decide what to do. You see, Krishna is giving the minute independence. So this is Bhagavan. He doesn't take our minor independence. So he wants us to come back to him naturally with love. This is called love. Right? So therefore, and Arjuna, after Arjuna will say, Krishna, whatever you said, I accept as the ultimate truth and I'll follow. This is what we should do. If you never follow, then you should face the complication. You should face the complication. Repeated birth and death. Pullagi, Pudagi, Mrigamagi, Paravayagi, Pambagi, Maramagi. Right? All these things are there, right? So, when someone had died in the funeral, Indian funeral, they read the Shiva Puran. Pullagi, Pudagi. So, Rinde Pal, Nal Kal, Pambagi, Paravayagi, you see? Pal Piragamagi, and then Manidanagi, Devana, Munivaragi, Ganangalagi, Devanagi. Even you can become Deva, demigods, no problem. That is not the highest form, you see? The Mari Matikate Irpo. So Sattu Ponana Padcha Punyula. When people die, you go and read all these things. You know why the reason? The reason is because you want to remind the Atma, oh, full. You have been suffering, taking different forms. Kallagi, Puluvagi, the Mari Agi, the mother stop panne. The mother kale. Listen to this. So there's no point you go and read this to the Atma is going to depart to Yamapuri. You should read it now. Then you can escape from the rope of Yamaraj, Yamaduta. Very important. So that is why Krishna never forced anyone, but Krishna gives us this human form. The human form of life is to inquire, Brahma Jignasha. If you never inquire, then you won't understand. Right. So this is the point. So Jnana, knowledge means knowledge of everything of Brahman, the supreme. Renunciation means detachment of material affection. And devotional service is revival by practice of the original position of the living being. So what is knowledge? What is the meaning of knowledge? Can anyone define knowledge? Prabhu, knowledge means I have completed SPM and successfully enrolled in matriculation and scored a dean list and enrolled for medicine. That is not knowledge. According to Shastra, that is not knowledge or ignorance. You're fool number one. Right? Knowledge means, you must read Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is giving the definition of knowledge. Knowledge means to know the difference between matter and spirit and the control of both. Let me repeat myself. Definition of knowledge means to know the difference between matter and spirit and the control of both. This is knowledge. Simply, it means to know Krishna. To know Krishna and to serve him. That is intelligence. That is knowledge. So if anyone is doing that, he is the most intelligent person. Otherwise, Krishna says he is the most muda. Duskritino muda. Krishna says you are muttal. Duskritino muda. Muda means muttal. Fool. Not I am saying. Krishna is saying. Bhagavad Gita is heavy. So Bhagavad Gita is heavy. Right? Krishna is telling us very clearly. People are not following and surrendering unto me. They are as good as animals. Fools. Krishna says that. Right? So this is very clear. So that is why we must take up this knowledge. So don't think that we have MBBS, we have this degree, PhD, and you think that is knowledge. That is bogus. The moment you leave the body, all are gone. But what is coming with you? The knowledge of Krishna. The knowledge of whatever you practice, devotional service. Swalpam apiyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bayat. Krishna says, whatever little you do, swalpam, you do to Krishna. Krishna says that will save you from the greatest danger. Trayate mahato bayat. Right? So this is the meaning of knowledge. So the successful living beings who are eligible to enter into the realm of absolute are called the jnanis, the yogis, and bhaktas. The jnanis and yogis enter into the impersonal rays of Supreme, but the bhaktas enter into the spiritual planets known as Vaikuntha. Right? Now, there's a very important point here. So Prabhupada is putting the point. The successful living being who are eligible to enter into the realm of absolute. Right? So can we recall when we begin our discussion, we have discussed that absolute truth can be understood in how many ways? 3 ways. Brahmeti, Paramatmeti Bhagavaniti. What is the highest understanding? The perfect understanding is Bhagavan understanding, where Bhagavan means have the six opulence. He is the supreme personality of God, and he is a person. He is a person. That's why Prabhupada stressed on this personality. He is a person, not some formless thing, right? So this is the meaning of Bhagavan, right? So now we see Prabhupada is telling the successful living being who are eligible to enter into the realm of absolute are called jnanis, yogis, and bhaktas. Okay. Prabhupada is telling these three people can enter into the absolute, realm of absolute. But there's a difference. There's a difference between three of them. Okay. So what is the meaning here is all three of them, they can cross the material nature. The material universe they can cross. The jnanis and yogis and bhaktas, they can cross it because they're studying Shastra. Right? So that's why Prabhupada called them transcendentalists. So what is the name for these people? The people who are trying to get out from this material nature, this material universe, Brahmanda. They are called transcendentalists. What is the meaning of transcendentalists? Transcend. That means, what is the meaning of transcend? To cross over. Right? Like we have the transnational bus. Is it still going on? Transnational bus. What's the meaning of transnational? It's going on in different nagari. Transnational. Right? Trans-Pacific Ocean. So therefore, transcendental means you are trying to cross over this material realm and enter into the spiritual realm. So these are the transcendentalists. But among these transcendentalists, right, they are different grade. The first is jnanis. These jnanis, they cannot go to Vaikuntha. They cannot go to Krishna, which is the highest goal. They will stuck in the Brahma Jyoti because they don't have proper knowledge of Bhagavan. Their understanding is incomplete, imperfect. They think that God has no form, Jyoti. So they stuck in the Jyoti, spiritual society. And then they'll be there for some time and they drop down again. Pullagi, Puvagi, Purvagi, Maramagi, apdi poyittu irukka vendiyadhaan. So this is the position of jnanis and yogis. So that is why Prabhupada says jnanis and yogis are waste of time. Because the jnanis, they are focusing on these impersonal features of the Lord. But the bhaktas means, what is the definition of bhaktas? Accepting Krishna as a supreme person and worshipping him, devotional service, serving him. So therefore you can go back to him. So this is the meaning of bhaktas. It's a different. Right? So that's why Prabhupada is putting the point here. The jnanis and yogis enter into the impersonal ray of supreme. But the bhaktas enter into the spiritual planets known as Vaikuntha Loka. In the spiritual planet, the Supreme Lord as Narayana predominates, and the healthy, unconditioned living beings live there by rendering service, loving service to the Lord, in the capacity of servant, friends, parents, and fiancé. So they are unconditioned living beings, enjoy life in full freedom with the Lord. Whereas the impersonalists, jnanis, and yogis enter into the impersonal glowing effulgence of Vaikuntha planets. The Vaikuntha planets are self-illuminating like the sun, and the rays of Vaikuntha planets are called Brahma Jyoti. The Brahma Jyoti spread unlimitedly, and the material world is but a covered portion of insignificant part of the same Brahma Jyoti. The covering is temporary and therefore it's sort of illusion. So, what is the destination of the so-called jnanis and yogis? Okay, actually, what is the meaning of jnani? Jnani means the people who have knowledge, knowledgeable person. Right? So the real knowledgeable person, they will understand Krishna. So if you are speaking about the jnani as it is, they will understand Krishna and go back to Krishna. So they call jnana yoga. Yoga means to connect. Yoga means to connect, to link. It's the definition of yoga. When we speak about yoga, we only think this Ashtanga yoga, where people sit and do this breathing exercise, asana. No. Yoga means to connect, to link with Bhagavan. That's yoga, the definition of yoga. So there are different types of linking. Right? So one of the ways is jnana yoga, Ashtanga yoga. Right? But actually, if you really practice jnana yoga or Ashtanga yoga as it is taught by Krishna, meditating on Bhagavan, then you can go back to Bhagavan. But now how are you going to practice? How are you going to meditate? You cannot even go to the forest. You cannot even have a deer skin. There are so many criteria, rules and regulations. You cannot even sit in one place for 1 hour. You're getting back pain. Prabhu, I'm having back pain. My sciatic nerve are getting, I got sciatic nerve problem, compressing, cannot stand, cannot sit. Then how are you going to do asana? Cannot. So therefore, when you practice devotional service, everything is covered. Right now, what am I doing? We are studying Bhagavad Gita. It is called Jnana Yoga. And then we are chanting, meditating of Krishna. Yeah. It's a Ashtanga Yoga, meditating. Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi is the highest. So when you practice devotional service, it's equal to Samadhi. So that is why the Bhaktas, they are intelligent. They cover everything. They are the Jnanis and Yogis, and ultimately they serve Krishna. So the Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Acharyas are telling the so-called Jnanis, the so-called Yogis, who have learned this Shastra incompletely, they go and fall on the trap of Mayavada, impersonal race. This is the problem. Right? So the devotees, they go back to Krishna, they serve Krishna personally, directly. Right? Whereas these people who are practicing the so-called yogi, they fall into the trap of Brahma Jyoti and they fell down. Spiritual suicide. Right? So Prabhus and Matajis must be very careful. We must not fall into this trap, the last snare of Maya, Jnana, so-called Jnana and so-called yoga. Right? So yeah, in Malaysia we can see 99.9% of our society, they fall in the trap of Jnana and so-called Jnana and yoga, right? We can name a few examples. We should expose them, right? What is the example? So-called yoga, and now they are opening some yoga. So when you go to the yoga, what they said? You simply come, pay your fees 200 ringgit, and then you just do some asana and pranayama, and then you diabetic will be gone, asthma will be gone. What is the goal of yoga? To understand Krishna, to link with Krishna. That they don't teach. Of course, the side effect of all these things is you have good health. That is okay. Or what is the ultimate goal? They don't teach that. So it is bogus. So when very famous Raja, what is the name? The bogus fellow's name? Raja Yoga Jnana Sittar. Have you heard about this? Yoga Jnana Sittar. Irkar Malaysia. Yarakachon. Yoga Jnana Sittar Guruji. RPT. So it's bogus. What they're doing? They are charging 750 ringgit. You enroll the program. You can activate your Kundalini Chakra. What you need is only 750 ringgit. You don't need to become, you don't need to follow the 4 regular principle. You don't need to stop meditating. You don't need to do anything. You can do whatever you want. You can even eat anything you want. You can be whatever you want. You can wear whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. You can even worship the stone. You can even worship the car. Anything, any object, no problem. As long as you give me 750, I will activate your Kundalini. They'll give you the picture, the old Dato, Guruji picture. And then you worship. Bogus. We are falling into the trap of such bogus things. Just a minute example of these things. Bogus people. So Prabhupada is exposing this. This is not even on the level of impersonalism. Impersonalism, at least they understand Shastra. But their philosophy is divided when the highest goal is Brahma Jyoti. But even these rascals, they don't even read Bhagavad Gita. They don't even read Shastra. They're wearing the coat and suit and telling, Jnana Yoga Sittar. Bogus. And we are also very happily paying 750 ringgit and going to the class and telling, oh, I'm paying SPM pass panta. My son, SPM is very good. Go to this 750 ringgit. The same amount you put in tuition, he will also pass. So, that's why I say, we should be very careful on these things. And yeah, many people, what else, I have so many examples are there. So-called this Baba, there's Baba. So suddenly producing magic, producing linga, producing ash. What is the value? What is the value of doing some cheap magic trick? Producing some ash? No value. If you are telling your Bhagavan, produce gold mine, let me see. Where is the gold mine? People are now suffering, no money. Isn't it? Produce gold mine. Oh, okay, that you cannot. I simply produce our Tinnuru. I go to the Kadai there, I buy 1 ringgit Tinnuru, Lord I can get. So this is no value. produce one Shivalinga. The same Shivalinga I can get in the Masjid India. No problem. Yeah, in brickfields I can get, right? So, bogus fellas. They're trying and telling, oh, I'm God. I can create ash. I can create some gold coming. Create a gold mine. Can you do that? Cannot. So, what is that? You're charging money. You're taking up money. You're telling you're God. You're telling your incarnation of God, right? So, where is the incarnation? Show me your power. Show me a Vishwarupa. When Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, Krishna showed the Vishwarupa, universal form. So now people are claiming they are God, incarnation of God. Show me the Vishwarupa first. They don't even have these 6 opulents. When you see them, you feel like puking, right? So, and they say they are God. Where's the beauty? And they are coming in a wheelchair. God is in the God in wheelchair. Wheelchair, God. Vahana. So we have Garuda Vahana. Vishnu is having Garuda Vahana, and we have gods having wheelchair Vahana. So bogus. So dear Prabhus and Mataji, this is very important knowledge. That is why we should read Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is giving clear understanding. Right? So how to leave the body? Bhishma Dev is teaching us how to leave the body by thinking of Krishna. Bhishma Dev is a pure devotee of the Lord. So he entered in the spiritual realm of Vaikuntha. That's the meaning of merging. So don't think that merging means to become one with Brahma Jyoti. No. Merging means to enter the spiritual world, our original home, Vaikuntha Loka. Vaikuntha. Kunta means misery. Why means no misery. Vaikuntha. The place there is no birth, death and disease. Eternal. Bliss. Right? So where Lord in his eternal form, Partha Sarthi, predominates over the unconditioned living beings who are constantly engaged in the service of Lord. So you see, Bhishma Dev is meditating on this exact form of Lord. What is the form of Lord? Enna peru Partha Sarthi. What is the meaning of Partha Sarthi? Sarthi means charioteer, driver. Partha means Arjuna, the son of Pritha. Pritha means Kunti Devi, the mother of Arjuna. So the son of Pritha is called Partha, Sanskrit. So when we say Partha Sarthi, the exact form of Krishna in the chariot, who is becoming the driver of Arjuna, chariot of Arjuna. This is Partha Sarthi. So Bhishma Dev is such a devotee, he is such a devotee that he is meditating on this form of Krishna and leaving the body. So Bhishma Dev didn't say, Krishna, I am meditating on the formless Brahma Jyoti of Krishna, Brahmana of Krishna. No. Bhishma Dev very clearly said, he want to see Krishna. He want to leave the body. The moment Krishna came, he leave the body. So this is the pure devotees. They are always thinking of Krishna. Right? So the love and affection which bind the Lord and devotee are exhibited in the case of Bhishma Deva. Bhishma Deva never forget the Lord in his transcendental feature as Partha Sarthi. And the Lord was present personally before Bhishma Deva while he was passing the transcendental world. This is the highest perfection of life. Right? So, that is why we are practicing Krishna consciousness, because our real test will come and we leave the body. So, when you think that you are not doing the devotional service, not hearing Bhagavatam, not hearing Bhagavad Gita, not practicing Krishna consciousness, not following the 4 letter principles, ultimately when you are dying, you cannot think of Krishna. Kuleshega Alvar is telling, oh Lord, now I'm having a very nice body, youthful body. Please take my life right now. Because when I become old, I cannot even think about you. My body is so much torturing. I have so much of problem, mental problem, dementia, keep forgetting, backbone problem, diabetic sugar will be high, BP will be high, 2 stent will be in the heart. Right? Every problem will be there. So how to think of Lord? The mucus will be coming in the throat, stuck, you cannot speak. So Kuleshega is speaking in the shloka, oh Lord, please take my life right now so that I'm constantly thinking of you right now. See, Kuleshega is such a great devotee of the Lord. Right? So now, what is our situation? We should think what we are doing every day. So Krishna consciousness is not about only attending your weekend program, Saturday program or Sunday program, and then go back and watching drama serial and all nonsense and come back Saturday program. No. So Krishna consciousness means the way, everyday practice. This is Krishna consciousness. Every day they must be listening Shravanam Kirtanam. We have seen previous shloka purport. The Navaveda Bhakti must be there. Any one at least. Hearing must be there every day. Right? So this is very, very, very important. Right? So on this case of, you see, we are speaking about Bhishma Dev. So we are done with the purport. So Bhishma Dev is a very great personality. He is a son of, he's a son of Ganga Devi. So Bhishma Dev is also known as Devavrata. When he was born, his name is Devavrata. He was blessed by the demigods. He was very blessed. And then at one point, Bhishma Dev took a very strong vow to become brahmachari, celibate. He doesn't want to get married. So therefore he is known as Bhishma. Bhishma means the one who took a very impossible vow, terrible vow. That's the meaning of Bhishma. So Bhishma Dev, he is like, the grandfather of the Kauravas, the Pandavas and Kauravas. He's the grandfather. So when Bhishma Dev was leaving the body, exactly it was the 10th day of the battle of Kurukshetra. Kurukshetra battle happened for 18 days, right? And during the 10th date, this Bhishma Pitamaha, the grandfather Bhishma, was lying on that bed of arrows. And he was waiting. He was waiting for the auspicious time to leave the body. So Bhishma, he has a special power. What is the power is that he can decide when he can leave the body. It was given by his father, Shantanu. Right? So he can leave when he was human. So Bhishma Dev was actually waiting for Krishna. So when he was being attacked, so what happened? Let me show you what happened actually. This exact situation is, okay. Let me share my screen. So this exact situation of Bhishma Dev is, he's lying on that bed of arrows on the 10th day of the battle, right? So, okay, Prabhu. Can you see the slide, Prabhu? There's some pictures I'm going to show.
Yes, can.
Okay, nice. So I'm going to slide show. Yes, you see, this is how Bhishma Dev was there. So what happened actually? You see, during the 10th day of battle, Yudhishthira Maharaj was very sad. He approached Krishna. He said to Krishna, Krishna, you see, because of this war, all my great grandfathers, uncles, relatives are dying. And today, the most respectable, great personalities, Bhishma Pitamaha, is on the bed of arrow. So what happened actually? What happened actually? So if you need to look into this. So actually Bhishma Dev, he was a great devotee of Krishna, even though he was on the other side. He was a great devotee, right? So actually Bhishma Dev's wish is to be killed by Krishna. Okay, what is the desire of Krishna? Bhishma Dev is to be killed by Krishna. You see, this is a Virya Rasa. Virya Rasa. There are so many Rasa, melos. Just like Arjuna's friend. So now, like gopis, they are the Madhurya Rasa. Like you see, Bhishma, he is a Kshatriya. Warrior, right? Warrior, Kshatriya. So his mood is that he likes to see Krishna in a warrior mood. Right? He likes to actually engage with Krishna, establish a relationship with Krishna in a battlefield. So that is why Bhishma Pitamaha actually chose the opposing side, because you want to have a transcendental exchange relationship. Virya Rasa. This is the hidden meaning actually. That's why even though Bhishma Dev was a great devotee, he was on the other side because his mood is such that he liked to see Krishna in a wounded form, blood coming, and how Krishna is attacking him, and how his body is being wounded. He enjoys this. Right? So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, our Acharyas, is giving a very wonderful explanation for this. What is the explanation? We have seen in the previous purport, earlier purport of this chapter 9. How the moment how this Bhishma, Pitamaha and Krishna are fighting, throwing, how they are, Krishna, these things are happening. So acharyas are telling, we might think this, what is this happening? That they are, they're trying to attack each other. It's so disgusting, blood is coming. But acharyas are telling, this is a relationship how Bhishma Dev enjoy, how Krishna is having a relationship with Krishna. And acharyas are telling, is just like how, acharyas different level, he's giving example of just like some, relationship between a boyfriend and a girlfriend, where sometimes they do this love bite, kiss bite, they bite here, bite there. Amazing. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is giving this explanation and telling all the wounds are pleasure. All the wound in the Bhishma's body and Krishna's body, they are taking pleasure. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is giving this commentary, comparing to the material pleasure. So can you imagine that? So this is a position of Bhishma Dev, right? So, and we know in Mahabharata, Krishna have a vow that he won't take any weapon, isn't it? Mahabharata Bhagavan got a vow that he will just become the driver, he cannot touch weapon, right? But what happened here? Krishna broke the vow and he took the chariot wheel and he go and he want to smash at Bhishma Dev. The reason is why? Because Bhishma Dev is so powerful. If Krishna never interfere, Arjuna will be killed. Arjuna will be gone. Bhishma Dev is so powerful. He is trained under Parashuram. Parashuram, who destroyed the Kshatriya dynasty, right? So his guru, battle guru is Parashuram, right? So Bhishma Dev, he was very powerful. So Krishna knows the moment Bhishma Dev is fighting to Arjuna, Arjuna will be smashed. So Krishna have to break the vow, Krishna have to interfere, and Krishna immediately saved Arjuna, and immediately Krishna took up this wheel and he going to smash at Bhishma Dev. This is the picture. So the exact picture here, he is named as, what is the name of Krishna holding this wheel? Rathangapani, right? Vishnu Sahasranama, Bhishma Dev is describing this exact moment as Rathangapani. Rathanga means, Ratha means what? Ratham. Rathatodi and the wheel. Anga means Rathanga. That means he's taking the part of the chariot. Rathanga, Anga, right? So Pani means holding, right? Just like Chakrapani. Chakrapani means holding chakra. So Rathangapani means is holding the Anga of Radha, the wheel. So this form of Krishna is known as Rathangapani. So this form of Krishna, Rathangapani, is coming and smashing Bhishma. And Bhishma is having bliss. And Vishwanath Chakravarti is giving that example, which I mentioned. And immediately Arjuna is coming and lying down in the lake to Krishna and telling Krishna, don't. You remember your vow. You're not supposed to kill anyone. So this is what happened. Then immediately, Krishna is having the force, he's going to throw, and immediately the moment Arjuna hold Krishna's leg and Arjuna is dragged by Krishna, Krishna is in very much force, is going to finish off Bhishma. But the moment Arjuna says stopped, and Arjuna is being dragged in the sand, and then Krishna actually, he threw the wheel away from Bhishma, right? So he didn't kill anyone, he didn't kill Bhishma. and the place where the wheel fall down is called Eka Chakradam, right? So where is this Eka Chakradam? This is the place of Nityananda Prabhu in Mayapur. 4 hours from Mayapur, there's a place called Eka Chakra, the place where these chakra fall, right? Krishna is fighting in Kurukshetra. So Krishna threw the wheel and fall in Eka Chakra. 4 hours from Mayapur. So this is the pastime, right? So we can understand here how in Virya Rasa, in the mellows of Virya, Kshatriya, how Bhishma is meditating upon this Partha Saradi form, right? So Bhishma's favorite form is what? Partha Saradi, having this Kshatriya, having this mustache, right? Having this wound everywhere, blood bleeding. So Bhishma loves this, and Krishna also enjoy this with the devotee. So this is amazing. This is the meaning. And Bhishma, he leave the body looking at this form of Krishna, Parthasarathi form of Krishna. And he attained the planet of Parthasarathi. Right? Yeah, we are running out of time. Yes, is that clear? Prabhu and Mataji is very interesting. So, when you go to Chennai, yes, Chennai போயிருக்கீங்களா? ஸோ நம்மலாம் சென்னை போனால் என்ன பண்ணுவோம்? சென்னை போனால் மெரினா பீச்சு, எம்ஜிஆர் சிலை, அந்த சிலை தான் பார்ப்போம். All these are bogus. You should go and visit Divya Desam. Right? So we have seen, many people, they are going to India, Tiruchi, Chennai. But when you ask them, have you visited the Lord? Parthasarathi Perumal, they say no. This is our situation. Right? So if you go to Chennai, the place is known as Thiruvallikeni. So Thiruvallikeni is the place name in Chennai. Thiruvallikeni. There is a very beautiful temple of Parthasarathi Perumal. And this Parthasarathi is very beautiful. It's the only temple in the universe where you can see Krishna having mustache. அப்படியே மீசை வச்சுக்கிட்டு முறுக்கு மீசை வச்சுட்டு கம்பீரமா இருப்பாரு. You can see here, right? So Krishna is having mustache here. So he is called Parthasarathi Perumal. Kshatriyoda moodla irupar, Kshatriyoda formla irupar. Right? So this is also the only temple where you can see family picture of Krishna. Why family picture? Krishna is giving us darshan with his whole family. Yare? You can see a Krishna standing here with Rukmini Devi, the most principal wife of Krishna, Rukmini Devi, and you can see Balaram. Balaram is there holding the plow, right? So Balaram is holding the plow, and you can see here another three personalities. They are Satyaki. Satyaki is actually the cousin brother of Krishna, related to Krishna, and also Pradyumna and Aniruddha. Pradyumna is the son of Krishna, and Aniruddha is the grandson of Krishna. So when you go to Parthasarathi temple, we can see family picture of Krishna. Kudumame anga photograph Krishna standing there with a family darshan. You should go and visit. Beautiful temple, right? So this exact deity of Parthasarathi is not, there's a lot of history. It was worshipped by Vyasadeva. The exact Parthasarathi deity Vigraha in Parthasarathi temple was worshipped by Vyasadeva himself, and he was given to Atri Muni, and it was established here in Chennai. Thiruvallikeni. Right? So this is the temple, Thiruvallikeni. Right? So if you can see here, Bhagavan endha kolathula nikrare, nindra kolathula. Bhagavan is standing, and you can see, if you notice, Krishna is having only conch shell, right? Panchajanya, right? So what is the name of Krishna's conch shell? Panchajanyam. He's only having conch shell in one hand, and another hand is putting downwards, showing the feet. So what is the specialty about this form is, Krishna doesn't hold any weapon. Bhagavana pathina eppime enna sevaru? Chakra vechirupparu. Weapon. Sanku, Chakra, Gada. But this Parthasarathi form, Krishna have taken over. I won't hold any weapon. I only become a middleman, charioteer. So therefore, Krishna in his Parthasarathi form is only holding Sangu, and he's pointing downwards. So this is one of the speciality about Parthasarathi. Only mustache, and also no weapons. Right? But also we can understand when we read Bhagavad Gita. There is no need weapon. There is no need weapon to Krishna to kill the Duryodhana's team. Right? Simply by blowing the Panchajanya, Krishna have killed all the person on the side. We can read Bhagavad Gita. At the moment Krishna's conch shell was blown, the heart of the Kauravas are shattered. Like literally they are killed. Right? So there's no need for Krishna to hold weapon. Simply by Sangha Udran, எல்லாத்தையும் சங்கு ஊதிட்டாரு கிருஷ்ணா. எல்லாத்துக்கும் சங்கு. So this is the meaning, right? So Krishna is simply holding a conch shell, right? So this is the Sri Parthasarathi temple in Thiruvallikeni. Please visit. If you go to Chennai, this is the must visit temple. It's one of the important Divya Desham. Divya Desham means the temple which the Alvars have sung the Pasuram, the glorified, the Bhagavan in the temple. Alvar means Vaishnavas, the one who immersed in Bhakti, Krishna Bhakti. They are Alvars, they are 12 Alvars. Right? So, yeah, this is the form, very beautiful form. The only form where Krishna having a very nice mustache, you can take the darshan here. No weapons, and Partha Sarathi Perumal. This actually the exact name of this form of Krishna is Venkata Krishna Partha Sarathi. Venkata Krishna Partha Sarathi. Right? Remember this. Yeah, and this is also Utshava Murti. Utshava Murti means it's a small Murti. Utshava, where they will bring during the festivals out. So even if you see the Utshava Murti, can you notice something or not? You see the face. Can you see the face are deformed, full of wound? So this is exactly because Krishna was wounded by Bhishma Dev. I mean, in the war, even though he never fight, but people are shooting arrow. People are shooting arrow, and even when he was fighting with Bhishma Dev, the arrow supposed to attack Arjuna, Krishna is taking. So he take the wound. So Krishna's face is deformed, wounded, bleeding, full of wounds. This is the form where Bhishma Dev meditate on. He surrendered on. Right? Not enjoyed, but surrendered on. Right? So that's why if you can see here, Parthasarathi Perumal, Uchva Murti is all deformed here. And until now, if you go there, for this Perumal, they don't put spices on the Pongal. Karam vanda valikum. Punnu puri valikuma Bhagavanukku. So, they put a lot of ghee. Nalla ghee போட்டு கொடுக்குறாங்க பகவானுக்கு so that heal the wound. So one of the special prasadam there is ney pongal, sakkara pongal, full of ghee, no spices. This is how Bhagavan is worshipped there as Partha Sarathi Perumal. Yeah, you see. Another speciality is that it's only two-hand form. So this is Krishna himself, two-hand form, no four-hand. Right? So yes. So this is about a Partha Sarathi form, right? So very beautiful, isn't it? So we should visit these temples, right? So this is the form, exact form where Bhishma, Pitamaha Bhishma worshipped and meditated and lived the body. So the conclusion is similarly, we should also replicate that and meditate upon the form of Krishna. And this Kali Yuga, what is the technique? What is the method? Simply by Harinama Sankirtana. There is no difference between Krishna's name and Krishna. Nama, Nami, Abhinnatvam means there's no difference. So when you are chanting the name of Krishna, that means you are associating with Krishna personally. When you are hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, like how we are doing, we are engaging with Krishna personally. So this is the method in Kali Yuga, right? So yes, I think I've taken extra time, but yeah, I think it's worth it to know what Parthasarathi Perumal, right? So I think we can end the discussion here. Is there any questions, any suggestions, anything you would like to share? Prabhus and Matajis?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna,
Thank you,
Mataji.
Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. I had a good class.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay. So
Thank
no
you
question?
so
So
much.
if there's no question, there's two things. If understood or no, never understand anything. So I hope it's either way. Right? So I hope we have something. We have shared something today. So thank you very much. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Dinesh Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.